Hey guys, Yid with the lid back. I want to continue the discussion about the creation of the world and how it really happened. Obviously, we said that Hashem said things and then they just came into existence, but the reality is that there was a system, right? Which we explained in the last video through the order of the four worlds, a descent in a chain-like contraction all the way down. So as we said before, there's four worlds. Atzilus, which is the world where everything existing in that world is still really one with Hashem. Then there's the world of Bria, which is creation, the world of Yetzira, which is formation, and the world of Asiya, which is the lowest world, which is the world of action. Now, Hashem is infinite, and before the creation of the world, Hashem had a desire to make the infinite finite so that we can exist here. Because as we said before, if we're just a drop of water and Hashem is the infinite ocean, if you put us back in the ocean, we don't feel that we exist because we're just a drop in the ocean. No one says, hey, there's the drop. They just say, well, there's the ocean, right? So we lose our existence. So Hashem had to create this order of contraction through the worlds in this chain-like descent where a serious amount of water, or an infinite amount of light in Hashem's case, had to be reduced down to a world of Asiya down here where there's just a really small amount so we don't sense the origin or the relation to the origin, or else there's no challenge here, right? We can't have emunah in Hashem if we know it as a fact. So Hashem had to create a big separation, a large gap, for us to be able to have a test, to believe in Him. So it's not just facts. Now, within each world, we said before that there's 10 spheres, or spheras. Now, Hashem created man is in His own image. So Hashem said, I'm going to create the world in the same way. And in each of these four worlds, there are 10 spheres. Now, those spheres are broken down into two categories, based on Hashem's makeup, and Hashem made us based on His makeup. So it all is connected. So let's focus on what those categories are. The first category is intellectual. The next is emotive or emotional. So if you look at the 10 spheres, the first three are Chokhmah, Bina, and Da'at, which are wisdom, which is Chokhmah, Bina is understanding, and Da'at is knowledge. Some of you might have heard of Chabad. That's what it's based on, those three faculties, the intellectual faculties, or the intellectual spheres in each world out of the 10. The next 7 are emotive attributes. So if you were looking at a person, the person has his wisdom, his understanding, and his knowledge, and then he has all of his emotional attributes. So chesed, kindness, gevura, judgment, tiferet, a mix of the two, balancing the two, and so on and so forth. Every world has 10 spheres made up of intellectual and emotive or emotional. Hashem created the system so that we could understand it because He created us in a way that we can look at ourselves and understand the system, because within each human being, and remember I said that the whole purpose of Chassidus is to be practical, to inspire positive action, and to help us refrain from negative action. The whole purpose of this is for us to take this into practice. And so what did Hashem do? Hashem created the system that we could relate to. And by understanding the system of the worlds and the spheres, we can then understand how we work better and understand how Hashem works better, and that will allow us to excel and not live uninspired. So within these worlds, just to finish off this idea of creation, every world, there are 4 worlds, and every world from top to bottom in quality starts with Chokhmah, which is wisdom, and ends with Malchus, or kingdom, or kingship, or sovereignty. And sovereignty being the lowest of the 10 spheres, Malchus, and Chokhmah, wisdom, being the highest. So if you were to draw this and chart this out, you would basically see that Chokhmah is the first sphere in each of the 4 worlds. Malchus is the lowest sphere in each of the 4 worlds. And Malchus acts like a bridge, because when you're done with one world, let's say you're the last sphere of the world of Atzilus, the highest world, which means you're in Malchus or sovereignty of Atzilus, that means that that gives birth or acts as a bridge to Chokhmah of the next world of Bria, because it's the same 10 spheres within each world. And so if you are Malchus of Atzilus, you're technically the bridge to Chokhmah again, which starts over, of Bria. And the same thing happens in the world of Bria. So this chain-like descent of the water flowing down, or the infinite light flowing down, like we talked about before, is going to continue from Chokhmah all the way down to Malchus. And then when you get to Malchus of one world, you now bridge over to Chokhmah of the next world. And so on and so forth until you hit the bottom. We are here at the bottom in the world of Malchus of Asiya, the lowest of the lows. And that's why we're so far away. Because technically there's, on a basic level, 10 spheres in each world times 4 worlds. 40 different curtains or veils or screens or filters for this infinite light that started up here to come down to just a little ray of light down here. More to follow. Ask me if you have any questions. Send me some messages or post in the comments. But this is the general, on a very basic level, idea of how the worlds exist, the spiritual worlds, and how we got all the way down here. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one.